A bold new proposal is set to shake up the UK's digital landscape, and it's got everyone talking. Sir Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, is about to unveil a plan for a nationwide digital ID scheme, and it's sparking a heated debate. Imagine a world where your digital identity becomes your key to accessing everything, from government services to your medical records. That's the vision being put forward. But it's not without its controversies and challenges. A digital revolution? Starmer believes this scheme could be a game changer, helping to tackle illegal working and modernize the state. Senior government figures agree, but here's where it gets controversial. This idea has been met with resistance before. The previous Labour government attempted a similar move with ID cards, but it was blocked by the conservative Liberal Democrat coalition. However, Starmer argues that times have changed and our digital lives have evolved. We carry more digital ID now than ever before, and it's become an integral part of our lives, he says. The government plans to use this digital ID to check people's right to live and work in the UK, with personal IDs verified against a central database. This would replace the current system, which relies on physical documents and has had online options since 2022. A mandatory move? The proposal has sparked a divide, with some ministers enthusiastic about its potential to improve access to government services, and others critical of its mandatory nature. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch calls it a very serious step that requires a national debate. She believes it's a desperate gimmick by the government to distract from political maneuvers and questions its effectiveness in tackling illegal migration. Reform UK denounces it as a cynical ploy to address illegal immigration, arguing that it will only further impinge on the freedoms of law-abiding citizens. The Liberal Democrats who blocked the previous ID card proposal state they cannot support a mandatory scheme, believing it turns people into criminals for not having or choosing not to have a digital ID. Even former Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn, who is launching a new left-wing party, opposes it, calling it an affront to civil liberties. The practicalities and pitfalls. Employers already have to check the right to work of prospective candidates, and since 2022, they've been able to do so digitally for British and Irish passport holders. There's also an online scheme to verify the status of non-British or Irish citizens, and the government has been phasing out physical permits for foreign residents with online-only e-visas. Officials believe a digital ID could provide a more consistent approach to verifying identity, reduce the use of fake documents, and make targeting enforcement easier. However, the Open Rights Group, a civil liberties campaign, warns of data errors and systems failures, and the risk of creating a pre-crime state where we constantly prove our identity. A divided nation? In his speech, Starmer will also address immigration tensions, which sparked protests outside asylum hotels over the summer. He'll present a choice between a politics of predatory grievance and the politics of patriotic renewal, warning of the toxicity of online debate and the belief in a violent struggle for the nation. Up to 150,000 people marched in the capital earlier this month, led by far-right activist Tommy Robinson, carrying Union Jacks and St. George's flags. Starmer will defend his government's actions to curb immigration, arguing that it's been too easy for people to slip into the shadow economy and remain illegally. He believes enforcing measures to deter illegal migrants is necessary, but rejects reform's toxic approach and their simple slogans. Every nation needs control over its borders, he says, but we must do so compassionately and fairly. What are your thoughts on digital ID cards? Do you see them as a necessary step towards a more efficient and secure future, or a potential threat to our freedoms and privacy? The debate is open, and we want to hear your opinions and questions.